music, music, music,
technology,
music,
technology,
music, music,
technology,
teacher, 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 teacher,
music,
technology,
teacher, teacher, teacher,
network, net,
teacher,
network, net,
teacher,
network, music,
technology,
teacher,
network, music,
technology,
teacher.
network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Tips and Tricks for Google Classroom and Apple Computers. This is Heath with the Music Technology Teacher Network, and I appreciate you listening in today. So, on today's episode, we are going to be talking about creating assignments in Google Classroom where you're going to be asking students to upload audio or video files. And there are two different ways to go about doing that. But before we start, I do want to say that I'm a big advocate of using Google's tools, but also using Apple devices. And here's why. The latest data suggests that Google Classroom is being used somewhere in the neighborhood of about 70% of school systems in the United States, which is pretty huge. So a lot of school systems out there have access or they're actively using Google Classroom. Now, if you think about Apple devices, Apple has about 43% of the cell phone market in the United States. So 43%, I mean, that's pretty good, but it's less than half. But if you specifically look for the data on the share of the market that the iPhone has for the people who are 18 and younger or just teenagers, that jumps up to almost to over 80%. So statistically, we know that somewhere in the neighborhood about 80% of our students are walking around with iPhones or maybe iPads. And we know that a lot of our school systems are using Google. So it would be great if we use these two systems together. Now, Google and Apple are competitors, and they used not to work very well with each other at all, but now they actually do. They don't necessarily really promote that or market that because they are competitors. But if you understand how to use the two tools together, you have some really pretty powerful things at your fingertips. Okay, so we're going to start talking about creating assignments where you want a student to upload audio files or video files, maybe say for a playing test. So what I've done is I've actually created a Google Classroom, a sample Google Classroom, and I'm using my son's school account information to have a student version and a teacher version so that you could see both. So if I go into my classroom, you can see that I've got two assignments that I've created here. So I've seen a lot of people mention lately about using Google Forms and how you can upload files as answers to Google Forms. And that would be a great way or a great thing to use if you want to create a playing test and have the student upload a file. While that's true, I think it actually introduces an extra step that is really unneeded. If you just want to do a playing quiz, what I've done here is I've created this assignment. And I've got the instructions here to create a video recording of yourself, playing 3 scales, share, export the video from your e-device. Click the Add or Create button under your work in the upper right-hand corner of the page. So what I've done, if I can switch over to see this other account, you can see what it looks like on the student end. So if the student goes to this assignment, unless they make a recording on their device, and then they get ready to upload the assignment, if they come to the assignment here, all they have to do is come over to this little box that says Add or Create. And when they click on that, like if they upload it to their Google Drive, they can attach it directly from there. Or if they've uploaded it to their computer or just stored it on their phone, they can upload it as a file from an external source. And when you click on the file, it's going to give you the options, to search your drive, upload from outside. If you're on a laptop, you can just click and drag, drop it in here, and then click on the upload button. And then after it uploads, the student just marks it as done. And it's as easy as that. So from the teacher perspective, when you go to look at the assignment, let's say, you have a list of students, everyone you assigned it to, you're going to see that list of students. And when you click on the student's name, whatever they attach to that assignment, you're going to find all those students and all those files attached right here. So that's super easy to do in Google Classroom. Now, I mentioned that some people had talked about using Google Forms, and that is certainly a possibility too. So what I've done here, back to mine, is I've begun to create an assignment. I have it here in my drafts. So if I wanted to create a Google form, I'm going to have to create a new assignment, performance assessment number 2. I'll put my instructions in, but then I'm going to have to add a link to the Google form, and I'm going to have to actually have created that form outside of Classroom. So it kind of adds an additional step, but it is useful, particularly if you have an assignment that is going to require more than just attaching a video or an audio file. So let me see if I can show you that. So if I go to my Google Forms, and I've already created a file here, or Google form. So, and I usually will have them a place where they put their name and their class period and that sort of stuff, but just for demonstration's sake, I haven't put all that in. So here's the item that I created. So as you create items, over here it gives you the option of short answer, multiple choice, but you can also select file upload. So if you want to put an item on here where the student's going to upload a file, you can do it this way. Now, over here, you have several settings that you can put on here. So the first says allow only specific file types. So let's say the assignment that you want them specifically to create a video. So if you come down here and click the video box, it's not going to let them upload anything that's not a video. So if they do it just as an audio file but not as a video file, it's not going to let them do that. If you want it just to be an audio file, then you can select just an audio file. And then you have these other options too that you might use for something, but probably not for a playing test. So let's say we select video, maximum number of files. You can go 1 to 10. I don't think, you probably don't want students uploading, 5 files or 10 files at a time. But it may be that you want them to do it separately. So there's 3 scales. So maybe they do those 3 scales as 3 separate files, then you can select 5. Now, maximum file size. I'm going to do another video here in the next few days that talks about understanding the difference in how big files are between video versus audio versus MP3 versus WAV files, and that sort of thing. But video files, the thing to remember right now is that video files tend to be really big. So I'm going to select 1 gigabyte. There's no reason to select 10 gigabytes. You can usually get a full-length feature film that's 2 hours long in less than 10 gigabytes. So let's just go with 1. Should be more than enough. Okay. Oh, well, it's telling me I need to make it bigger, so we can make it bigger, I guess. Save. All right. Now the Google form would be good because now they can upload this video file. But let's say you wanted more than just a video file, that you wanted to maybe have them do some self-assessment. So if you wanted to make the assignment something where, in addition to recording the performance, you also wanted to ask them some questions about, what did you find most challenging about the assignment? What was your biggest area of improvement? What aspect of your performance is in greatest need of growth? So a Google form and attaching a media file to that, it would be great to use a Google form if you want to have some additional questions to go along with it. If you just want to collect the media files of them playing their performance test, you probably don't need to use Google Forms. You can just go create an assignment, and just ask them to upload the file in that assignment. It's probably the easiest way to go. So I hope that kind of explains a little bit the pros and cons and the difference in why you might use a Google form for a playing assignment versus just creating an assignment in Google Classroom. So in the next follow-up video to this one, I am going to show you how to upload files from GarageBand on the iPad, and also how to use a really great video app that comes standard on iPads called Apple Clips. That's a great way if you want to have students submit audio or video files. So stay tuned for that next video that I'll be posting soon. Thanks for watching the video today, and I would encourage you, if you have colleagues that might benefit from this, please let them know about it. Hit the subscribe button would be a huge help. And also, please feel free to visit us on our website, www.mutechteachernet.com. That's MUTECH teachernet.com. Y'all stay healthy, and remember, we're supposed to keep our distance, but a smile goes a long way.
Music, music, music,
technology,
music,
technology,
music,
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 technology,
teacher, 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 teacher,
music,
technology,
teacher, teacher, teacher,
network, net,
teacher,
network, net,
teacher,
network, network, music,
technology,
teacher,
network, music,
technology,
teacher,
network,
teacher,
network, music,
technology,
teacher,
network, music,
technology,
teacher,
network,
tech,
teacher,
network.